which are more akin to sanctions. But
How's that look?
round
Correct. Want to do another one?
Now that I'm a man, I can only feel betrayed. That was a long time ago.
they would force him out of Kuwait. And then the director goes on and says this: the ability of the Iraqi ground forces to defend Kuwait and southern Iraq is unlike the Madam President. After consulting with the best advice I could find, I have concluded that there is no comfort to be found in that proposition. We have no chance of expelling Iraq from Kuwait. Some have argued that sanctions would, over time, weaken Iraq's military position and make an eventual conflict less costly to American forces. But this assumption is not borne out by the best available advice, including Director Webster's public testimony. The director states that, quote, under non-combat conditions, Iraqi ground and air forces can...
Dear son, I heard what had happened to you. I pray for you every day. I pray that you make it alive, away from this crazy war. Hundreds of my men are dying every day. In 1964, I was really sure about what my purpose was. But now I just want to be home with you and your mother and be the family we once were. The tears from my eyes and the cries from my men tell me of one thing: to make peace and stop the killing. I do not like war. War is hell, and hell can be a dangerous place. Son, I'm not sure if I'll ever come back. If for some ungodly reason I don't make it back, I want you to learn this: that I fight this war to preserve the peace for all Americans and the world. Please help make the peace back home and let everyone know I love them, and my thoughts and mind are with them all. Your loving father.
It makes no sense to risk all that we have achieved in the name of peace by a premature resort to war. Yet, with no meaningful consultation with Congress, the President unilaterally decided on November 8th to move away from a sensible policy that had stopped Iraq in its tracks and that was working effectively to achieve the goals of the United States and the world community without the need for war.
And ignorance continue at home. They see us willing to fight a war for freedom in Vietnam, but unwilling to fight with 1/100th the money or force or effort to secure freedom in Mississippi or Alabama or the ghettos of the North.
Personality entirely in his possession, that Satan will wage his last formidable offense.
I think now, looking back, we did not fight the enemy, we fought ourselves. And the enemy wasn't us. The war is over for most of us now, but it will be there for the rest of our days. And now the Middle East is breaking out with another. There are times since I felt like a child, born of those two fathers. And be that as it may, those who did make it have an obligation to build again, to teach others what we know, and to try what's left of our lives to find a goodness and meaning in this life.
Well, since the Persian Gulf War began, people have taken to the streets, written letters to newspapers, hung ribbons, and waved flags.
All of that has prompted some Austin local access cable TV producers to make a video. News 36's Jim Swift reports on this thought-provoking production.
The Air Force would feel the effects of sanctions to a greater degree than ground forces.
Possession of my soul is visual poetry. The story of a soldier home from the Vietnam War, a war that crippled him.
Get down! Cold steel, checkpoint, mark, 2.
Dear son, I heard what had happened to you.
A soldier whose father also fought in Vietnam, fought and died in Vietnam.
I do not like war. War is hell, and hell can be a dangerous place.
24-year-old Austin actor Ken Goodman wrote the piece and portrayed the soldier. Veteran Access television producer Kirk Hunter added his trademark multiple images. Both are quick to point out that this is not a protest video.
You have to read a lot into it. If you don't read a lot into it, then you know, you can just say, well, it's another one of those wild videos.
In the end, it is the confusion that gives this wild video its strength, because it is like a mirror, reflecting the inner conflict so many of us have felt lately. A mirror that we can look into and know that it is all right to be confused. Jim Swift, News 36, Nightcast.